Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. This time, talking about another book in the Glamour Chronicles. This one, Deep Time, by Trevor Baxendale. So what's it all about? The Pharaon have disappeared from the universe over 1 million years ago. They travelled along the stars using roads made from time and space, but only relics are left behind. But what actually happened to the Pharaon? Some believe they were actually eradicated by a superior force. Others claim they destroyed themselves. Or were they in fact victims of an even more hideous fate? In the far future, humans discover the location of the last Pharaon road, and the Doctor and Clara join the mission to see where the road leads. Each member of the research team knows exactly what they're looking for, but only the Doctor knows exactly what they'll find. Because only the Doctor knows the true secret of the Pharaon, a monstrous secret so terrible and powerful that it must be buried in the deepest grave imaginable. Now, as always, it's a storming book. It's got a really nice feel to it, a lovely rhythm, and Trevor Baxendale just gets better and better as an author. But in order to make up your own mind, here's an excerpt. Here's from the prologue. The ship gleamed in the starlight. A gold and amber dream of a ship, with tail fins splayed like wings of a dove preparing for flight. It was waiting patiently, sitting on 3 short inclined landing supports, boarding ramp down, ion thrusters glowing. Raymond Balfour crossed the wide concourse leading to the space dock and decided it was the most beautiful ship he'd ever seen. He'd owned many before this one. Some had been gifts, others he'd bought. They were all special, but this one was unique. For one thing, it had been made to order. It was expensive. All spacecraft were expensive, but more so when they were custom built in the private shipyards of Far Station. Secondly, it had been built for a particular purpose. This was no pleasure cruiser, although anyone could be forgiven if, at first glance, they believed it was a rich man's luxury yacht or spa. Thirdly, the purpose was a mission, a journey of exploration that promised the discovery and crossing of new frontiers. Balfour paused when he reached the edge of the space dock platform. The ship rose above him, glittering and eager for flight. Etched in silver letters across the golden bows was the name Alexandria. Balfour had chosen the name himself. It meant smart, daring, and fearful of nothing. It was perfect. Beyond the Alexandria was a brilliant starfield, streaked with the scarlet blaze of an ancient supernova, and beyond that, the edge of the galaxy. Beyond that, the unknown. Balfour trembled with excitement. "Excuse me, sir," said a large, angular service robot politely. It towered over Balfour, even when bowing respectfully. "What is it, Trug?" "The research team are all assembled, sir. The ship is ready for departure." Balfour nodded. "I know, Trug, I know. I just want to savour the moment." Trug straightened patiently. "Very good, sir." Balfour stood and drank in the sight before him, allowing his eyes to roam the long amber lines and smooth golden hull. "Tell me, Trug, when you look at the Alexandria, what do you see?" "A spacecraft, sir." "Do you know what I see?" "A spacecraft, sir." "I see adventure." "Very good, sir," Trug replied. "May I suggest that we join the boarding party? Professor Vent is very keen to leave." Trevor Baxendale has produced an incredibly good book. These three things slot together lovely. And you know what? I really don't have an issue with all three stories slotting together and fitting together in unison. The quest for the most desirable and dangerous artifact in the universe, well, let's face it, it's got to have a payoff at some point. But it's nice to have the Doctor so well realised in these pages. So yeah, go away, buy it, you know you want to. So until next time, be seeing you. You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast, available on RSS, iTunes, Stitcher, Audio Boom and Tumblr. Doctor Who and its associated works are copyright of the BBC. No infringement is intended. You can contact the show, donate, buy merchandise or find out more about my other projects by visiting the Tin Dog Podcast homepage and clicking on the links. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.